The objective of this training session is to help you deal effectively with workplace violence. At the end of the training session, you will be able to identify the causes of workplace violence, spot the signs of potential violence, follow required security procedures, and respond effectively to violent acts. In addition to giving you the tools to combat workplace violence, this session will heighten your awareness of the problem and focus attention on possible sources of violence. For example, sources of violence may include employees, former employees, customers, other outsiders such as vendors, delivery people, friends and partners of employees, and ex-spouses, criminals such as thieves, muggers, or rapists, who could also use violent methods to achieve their goals in or around your facility. And finally, terrorists. Although for most companies like ours, the risk of terrorist attack is slight. Everyone is affected by workplace violence, not just the victims. That's why it's important for employees to talk about a violent incident and, if necessary, recommend professional assistance for people who have trouble coping. Follow these guidelines. Be patient and understanding with victims of violence. They may not bounce back immediately into their normal working routine. Realize that witnesses to crimes can also have emotionally stressful reactions to what they've seen. Be sensitive to witnesses who may be more on edge or distracted than usual. Even co-workers who are not involved in an incident and do not witness it can be troubled if their friends and co-workers are affected. This applies to your colleagues as well as your employees. Finally, remember that customers and others, such as vendors or delivery people, may witness violent incidents in your workplace, and they may seek reassurance that they will be safe in the future when they come to your facility. Ours is a violent society, and some of that violence finds its way into the workplace. Consider these facts. 1/6 of violent crimes occur in the workplace. There are over 1.5 million incidents a year. Violence is the second leading cause of workplace deaths. 3 workers die each day. Guns are involved in 80% of deaths. As many as 18,000 people are assaulted at work each week. Violence costs American industry millions in lost productivity, legal fees, and other related expenses every year. And certain types of jobs pose a higher risk for violence, including those where employees handle cash, work alone, work late at night or early morning hours, work in high crime areas, guard valuables, or work in community settings.
Chilling new details of the murders at a mall in Maryland this weekend. Still unclear why a teenager opened fire, killing 2 other young people before turning the gun on himself. This morning, though, we are learning more about the gunman from his stunned and sad mother. ABC's Jeff Zeleny has the story.
Overnight, police are poring over a journal seized from this house, where Darian Aguilar lived with his mother. It could hold clues to what inspired his deadly weekend rampage at an upscale Maryland shopping mall.
There is a journal. He does express some general unhappiness with his life.
19 years old and out of school less than a year, he walked into a skateboarding shop and fired 6 to 8 shots. He killed 2 and caused terror for hundreds.
Kids are hiding in the bathroom. It's the upper level near the stairs, hearing active shots.
His victims, Tyler Johnson, 25, and Brianna Benlolo, a 21-year-old single mother whose Instagram profile reads, "Live every day for today." Authorities are still searching for a motive.
Darian is a good kid. Don't know what happened.
We visited his home just outside Washington. His mother didn't answer the door, but spoke briefly by telephone. She sobbed, telling ABC News her son was gentle and never had any interest in guns. But police say he did. He bought a shotgun last month, a 12-gauge Mossberg, and kept it hidden as a taxicab dropped him off at the mall. Authorities say surveillance tapes show him sitting and walking around for nearly an hour, blending in with hundreds of shoppers. The gunfire lasted only moments, but sparked an afternoon of chaos. As the mall reopens today, fresh worry.
I don't bring my kids to malls because I have 4 little ones. I can't save them all.
For Good Morning America, Jeff Zeleny, ABC News, Columbia, Maryland.
Employee-related violence in the workplace is caused when someone reacts to a trigger in a violent manner. These triggers can be related to the workplace. For example, when a business struggles and need to have a layoff, affected employees can react violently. Employees who are fired for disciplinary or other reasons can also become violent, either at the time of the firing or later. Current employees who are warned about bad behavior may have a negative violent reaction. Employees who receive a less than satisfactory performance review may take exception in a physical manner, as may some who do not receive the promotion or raise they expected. Finally, conflicts among employees can sometimes escalate into violent behavior. Make sure you understand and follow your security procedures for handling these incidents, including exit interviews, denying access to computer files, or escorting former employees off the premises. Personal problems can also turn into violence at work from either employees themselves or from their contacts outside of work. For example, this can include cases of domestic violence in which either the employee overloads emotionally into a violent work incident, or an abuser follows the employee to work and causes a violent act. Ex-partners can create violent problems at work. Employees with drug or alcohol problems can cause unsafe working conditions as well as becoming violent. Emotional problems brought on by stress or mental illness can also lead to workplace violence. And financial difficulties can lead to great stress for employees, which can lead to violent outbursts. Sometimes workplace violence is the result of interactions with other outsiders, such as angry or disturbed customers. Violence can erupt during the course of robberies, muggings, rapes, vandalisms, etc. that can occur in parking areas, just outside your facility, or even inside the facility if it is penetrated by criminals. Employees whose jobs take them on the road are particularly susceptible to these types of assaults. And unfortunately, in this day and age, random acts of violence perpetrated by drugged, deranged, or vicious people can also lead to incidents of work-related violence. When you notice signs of potential violence, take immediate steps to defuse the situation. Here's what to do. Remain calm. Continue to speak in a moderate tone of voice. Show respect to people even when they become upset. Focus on the problem by asking for details about the situation and going over possible solutions. If you still feel the person may become violent, alert a coworker or colleague with a prearranged danger signal. Finally, report the situation immediately according to established procedures if things threaten to get out of control.